Back in the book segment tonight, did you see that? Martha McCallum, been covering the Pope's visit in Washington. She joins us now from that city. So what impressed you the most about today, Martha?
You know, the Pope, it's his first visit, as we've all said all day, to the United States. And when he appeared at the White House, I mean, it was the most crystal clear, beautiful blue day. There were Marines and military on the South Lawn. It was an absolutely spectacular, sensorial experience for this Pope, and so American and so patriotic. And it was really, I just kept wondering what he was thinking when he looked into the faces of all of those people there. He clearly has a very good relationship with President Obama. They sort of complimented each other in the things that they chose to spoke about this morning. But when the Pope got up this morning to talk, he really hit on all of the major points, which are clearly part of the reason that he wants to be here and the message that he wants to communicate. I mean, he talked about the importance of the institution of family, which he's going to focus on when he's in Philadelphia. He talked about climate change. He complimented the president for having done work on that issue. We all know that, you know, where he stands on that, and it's clearly something that he feels is very important. He's basically talking about nurturing and protecting life. You know, whether that life is an unborn child or whether that life is the planet Earth.
But he didn't really do
all
that,
created from God.
I did it in the Talking Points memo. I mean, I drew from his words, but he's not confrontational. And he's not going to get up there. He didn't get up there with the Castro brothers, who are killers, and say, you guys are killers, let the people out of prison that you have in there for no reason. He didn't do that.
Which he clearly could have, and of course we don't know what he spoke with them about when he was in private.
Right.
But we know that his way is very similar, I think, to President Obama's way when it comes to dealing with individuals like Castro. He believes that you have to open the door, shed light, you have to put these people on the spot by being with them, by shaking their hands, and by holding them accountable.
Engagement, yes, I agree with you.
They feel like that's the way to do it. And, you know, clearly that's being from Latin America, he believes that Cuba is sort of a doorstep. And he talked a lot about our common world, and he's talking about the Americas. He's embracing the United States as part of that big circle and saying we have to work on our common world together. And he praised the president for helping him to open that door.
Well, look, he's a good guest. The president is a good host. However, I said this yesterday, and I believe it. I think the Pope's a little naive politically. I don't think he understands the robust capitalism that we have in the country that has lifted literally billions of people over the centuries out of poverty. I don't think he really quite gets that.
I think he's going to get a different. I hope he will get a slightly different perspective on that.
He won't, because he's in a bubble. They're keeping him in a bubble.
I mean, he was raised obviously in Argentina in a completely different environment where corporations and the government are in bed together.
Right. Yeah,
and so his perspective on capitalism is not ours. And you know, he may get a little bit of a different look at it. I certainly hope
here's the problem, and I'll give you the last word. The problem is that President Obama doesn't see American capitalism as an altogether good thing. He does not. And that's where he's gone off the rails in his presidency. Well, so I hope the Pope isn't influenced by that. Last word, Martha.
Yeah, I don't think that the Pope is as political as people think he is. He lays out the things that he cares about. He wants the president to influence climate change. It's clearly something that, you know, he has spoken to people who've influenced him on that issue. In terms of capitalism, I think he's going to see a different picture of it here in the United States. And you know, through the president's eyes, maybe not as much, but, you know, hopefully he'll be meeting a lot of people and talking to them as well. But you know, there was exploding joy in that basilica tonight. People were absolutely jumping out of their skin, amazed to see him. So.
He is a fine man as the vicar of Christ. And again, if you came in late, my Talking Points memo deals with a lot of the stuff that Martha was talking about, and it's on BillO'Reilly.com.